What's up, guys? Brian here. Just thought I'd do a video. Mainly it's going to be me ranting, but I'm going to clean my chainsaw too. And I'm going to change the dog back. The dog worked great, except for my problem with it is the reason I made it. Right? I made this poking down for a reason, right? So I could get it into a chain. Anyways, it's kind of become an annoyance to me. Because when I'm carrying the chainsaw, it stabs me in the leg. So, I'm going to take that back off. Anyhow, the main reason I'm doing this video is because, like, I want some advice from you guys, the viewers. I got this neighbor, and I'm not going to name names, but this neighbor that I got has been a thorn in my side since the day I bought this duplex. Since I bought it, he's been a pain to me. One second. I forgot my tool bag. Okay, here's my tool bag. Anyways, I've had this neighbor since the day I moved in. He's been a pain to me, and now I don't know. It just feels like it's never gonna get better. So I'm asking for your guys' advice. No, I live in one section, but it's not my neighbor, like my tenant, that's bothering me. It's a guy that lives right next door. Like, not next door, but next door. He's like 200 feet away, roughly. Okay, the camera is focusing on the chainsaw, not me. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Anyways, so he's basically the closest to my house besides my actual tenant, right? So, and it's been a constant, like, pissing battle. Like, whose is bigger, basically, you know? At least to me it seemed like that, you know? As soon as I bought the duplex, like, the fight was on. Like, oh, you want to buy a duplex? Well, I'm going to buy this duplex. Oh, you got a tractor? Well, I'm going to go get my tractor, you know? And I one-upped him one more time, and he's just, every time I one-up him and I get something, like, I'm not trying to one-up him, I'm just trying to, you know, grow myself and grow my business. He sees it as, like, a threat or something. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just trying to do my own thing, and he has to compare everything he has with everything I got, for some reason. And apparently, 2 days ago, the dozer was in the driveway running for 2 hours, just idling, apparently, according to him. For one, I'm too cheap to idle my equipment for 2 hours and not be doing nothing. I don't do that. That's not who I am. Yeah, basically. That's what I want to do, William. But it's getting to a point, like, so, he is, Jeff. So, today, I had mentioned to him that I bought the dozer, you know, and, he's like, oh, that thing, you had that idling for 2 hours the other day. I was going to call the county on you. This is residential, not commercial, you know, type deal. And it's like, so basically he's almost threatening my livelihood. You know what I mean? Which, not cool for me. So I'm thinking about I may be taking some legal action against him because there's really nothing else I can do. You know, get a restraining order against him, or I don't know what I have to do to get this guy off my case, but I have a feeling it's never going to get better until he moves away or I move away. You know what I mean? So what's your guys' advice? Like, have you ever had that neighbor that is just constantly complaining to you about everything? Like, and this is the extent. So I would say, what is it? It's probably been a year since he yelled at my wife one time. Apparently she was going too fast. He yelled at her and was swearing at her. And for me personally, nobody talks to my wife like that ever. Hell no. I will not put up with that. That is the one thing. You can complain to me all you want about my wife, but you go yelling, screaming, cussing at my wife, that ain't happening. I won't allow that. I can put up with a lot of crap, but that I will not put up with. Anyways, I went over there and confronted him, and I told him, I said, dude, don't you ever talk to my wife like that ever again. You can complain to me all you want, but don't ever complain to my wife. Don't ever talk to my wife, because next time you do, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be a fun encounter, right? And then I finally made some good ground with him, right? And this was like 6 months ago, right? I want to say it was probably about 6 months ago. Or 3 months ago. Probably 3 months ago. Anyways, I bought the muffler for my dump truck. He really loved that. So I was starting to be on good ground with him, right? And I helped him lift his stupid fuel tank up, you know. Yeah, I know. I am thinking highly about getting security cameras because he does seem like the type of guy that would sabotage my stuff, you know. And he's a mechanic, so he would know how to sabotage my stuff, you know what I mean? So it's kind of stressing me out about that. But not really. I mean, it's just really starting to frustrate me. And, yeah, I don't know, man. I think I want to take legal action against the guy because it's just, like, nothing I can do. Like, so I was just loading my dozer, right, onto the trailer. I did it right now, which it's like 3 or 4 o'clock, right? It was 3 o'clock when I started probably, and I'm already done. I didn't wait to do that tomorrow morning at 4 in the morning. I could have done that at 4 in the morning. I didn't do that. You know, I put it on there right now so I'm not disturbing anybody when I wake up in the morning. Apparently, not good enough for him. So, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. It's just, I think my only option is, you know, to take this guy to court or something, get a restraining order or something. Like, one question I have for you guys. Do you know, like, so I live in a duplex, obviously. Is there any laws about small business owners running their business out of their house? I don't think there is. Okay, Nolan. Yeah, I'll definitely contact you on that one. Do you do hits too? I know you're in the military. Do you do hits on people? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. Don't take that seriously. This guy, seriously though, like, he's really starting to get on my nerves. Like, there's just nothing I can do. I put Loctite on these because my buddy has his chainsaw and I seen that his dogs were loose, so I put Loctite on it. No, and you crack me up. Let me just borrow your dog. No HOA. There's no HOA. Thank goodness. I would never buy a house with HOA. Here's the other thing, okay? Here's the other thing. I'm not the only business owner in the area either. There's a drilling place right there. Yeah, see, but Jeff, I have a dozer and, you know, a backhoe and a, you know, a commercial vehicle. So my question is there a limit to what I can have in an unincorporated county? I need to look that up because, like, I don't want to have to find some place. I don't want to have to buy some place where I can store my stuff besides my house. It is so convenient for me. Like, how stupid would that be if I had to drive 30 minutes to go park my stuff, like, and then commute somewhere, then commute home? That would be so stupid. So, and I know some of you guys, some of you owner operators do that, you know, and I'm sorry for you guys. That sucks. You know, parking your stuff somewhere else and then driving to it. Well, it's kind of residential. It's not, I don't know if it's considered residential area or not. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't have, but the business did buy it, but my business name isn't on it. I could say it's for personal use. That's a good point. If somebody ever did ask, I could say it's for my 40 acres in Shelton. Ow. Scratched me. Broke a nail. Anyways, I'm just so frustrated. Like, I'm almost to the point, like, I don't know what to do because, hey, TY, did you get that shirt I sent you? I sent it off a few weeks ago. You probably should have got it by now. I think you're the one that bought it, right? Yeah, but what kind of ordinances do you guys have? Did it fit good? I hope it fit all right. Yeah, what kind of ordinances do you guys have? Like, I was talking to this one guy who lives right down the road. He drives a can hauler. Not you, Nolan, but another guy. I actually use his place for a dump site for dirt. He stopped in at I could build a pole barn, but I don't want to. I want to build my property in Shelton. And the past week, I've been going down there. I just cleared a ton of trees. And I'll probably do a video tomorrow. I'm taking the dozer down there tomorrow. I cut down probably 50 to 75 trees today down there. Because we're clearing it. I mean, we're going to prepare it for a home. We're going to build it. We're going to build our home down there. You know? But it's kind of like a 5-year game plan. And I feel like this guy's going to push me out. I may have to, you know, I don't know. I'm not taking any loans out to build my house. I don't want to do that. I just want the dude to I just want him to move. He's just a tenant. Why can't he just move? You know, if he doesn't like me, I own the place. I'm going to be here for a while. Why doesn't he just move? If I'm not frustrating to him, why doesn't he just move? Like, I don't get it. He's just a renter. He can move whenever he wants. He doesn't work. Yeah. But, you know, it's just so frustrating to me because, like, I'm doing so good. Like, I really think it is I think he thinks I'm trying to compete with him. Like, he's trying, like, every time I get something, you feel like he's losing a battle or something. Like, that's how I kind of feel he thinks. But I don't know for sure, but I just feel like, and I get that kind of a sense from my tenant, too. They were telling me the same thing. So, it's unincorporated. So, I would say it's more country than anything. Yeah, he doesn't work. He had a L&I claim, and, you know, he hasn't been working for a long time. Yeah, no jealousy. That's what I think it is. Uh-huh. Well, here's the problem, though. Here's where my problem lies. Before I started my business, before I even started, when that time he yelled at my wife, and I confronted him about that, and let's just say I wasn't as civil. Like, I straight up told him, I said, dude, don't you ever talk to my wife that way. You won't be leaving here if that's the case. You know, I pretty much told him how I felt. I said, don't ever talk to my wife that way. And, you know, I probably used some stronger words than that. But I made my point real clear. And after that, like 2 weeks after that or 3 weeks after that, he found every reason possible, any reason at all, to call the cops on me. Oh, he's speeding past my house and throwing rocks at my cars, you know, with his tires. Oh, he's, you know, I don't even remember the reasons why, but he called the cops on me twice. And the second time the officers came, I was a little short with the officers. I said, look, man, there's no evidence. All it is his word against my word. Either he has some evidence or he doesn't. Leave me alone. You know, which I probably shouldn't have said it that way to the police officer, but the police officer came at me like it was my fault. You know? He didn't even hear my story, my side of the story before he was, you know. And I said, look, man, unless he's taking legal action, leave me alone. And then that was the last time I seen the cops. Because the cops know they can't do anything, you know. They just come and they just show up and, you know, that's pretty much all they do. They just show up and do nothing. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Call up the Jehovah's Witnesses and send them over there. I would never send the missionaries over there. He'd probably try and shoot them or something. He's always drunk. Not that that is a big deal to me, but it kind of bothers me because, like, he's just one of those guys that's like a grumpy drunk. You know what I mean? If he was a happy drunk, I wouldn't even care at all. But, like, he's always pissed. You know what I mean? I don't understand how his girlfriend's even with him. You know, I just don't get it. I don't know how anybody lives with that guy. Constantly pissed. You know, and maybe he's in pain. I don't know. He said, you know, he did get hurt at work. Maybe he's in pain. But that still doesn't make it right for him to constantly harass me, you know, and complain to me. Like, and I'm the only one he complains about. The only one. And none of my other neighbors have ever complained to me. None of them. None of them. I go over and talk to them, and they, you know, they're all happy, you know, hunky-dory, you know, no problems whatsoever. But he's the only one, for some reason, he always has to complain about me. And seems to me, now I'm not going to say this for sure, but it seems to me like none of the other neighbors like him either. But, yeah. Well, no, he needs to be on some pain meds or something. Well, I don't know if that's true, though. Well, I guess it is kind of true, but I just hope when I move out to my property in Sheldon, I'm far enough away. Yeah, I do need to put cameras up. And I can afford it, too. Yeah, he needs more than mental meds, man. He needs... You think with him living in Washington, he would take advantage of the, you know, those brownies, but he ain't taking advantage of them, apparently. Not enough, at least. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, Nolan. You said you set up cameras. I need to set up some cameras. And then I'll just let him know. I said, hey, man, just so you know, I got a whole bunch of cameras set up, you know. I figured, you know, there was somebody broke into my mailbox. I don't want them sabotaging my equipment. say it exactly like that too. I'm sure he would be pissed. What, you implying I did something? What, you have a guilty conscience? You know? It's like, I don't know. The guy just pisses me off. Yeah, he is a win. He is a winner. Yeah, no, I'm worried about that, dude. Maybe, you know, that sputtering I was having, maybe he put something in my fuel tank. I don't know, you know, because it had never done that before. But when I put, you know, the carb cleaner and stuff in there, or not the carb cleaner, the injector cleaner, it runs good. But if I don't, then it kind of, you know, at high idle, it kind of sputters. Maybe he tampered. Maybe he did something. Yeah, don't say anything. Just put him up. That's probably what I'll do. And then I'll catch him in the act. Oh, dude, if I caught him in the act, I don't know. The problem is if I caught him, I don't know if I would call the cops. That's what the problem is. I have this problem where I like to handle my own problems. I'm sure some of you guys are the same way. It's not just me. But I just can't wait. Yeah. I just can't wait until I, you know, maybe I should start like a GoFundMe or something so I can hurry up and build my shop or something. Nobody would probably donate to that. I know. My business is my #1 thing, and I'm just worried about him, you know, sabotaging my stuff. You know? I really am kind of worried about it, to be honest with you guys. Yeah, I know. You can't trust cops to do anything. You're right. Well, most of the time. Unless they see stuff, you know. I'm not the type of person that likes to depend on other people to fix my problems, you know? I was also thinking, yeah, I got a locking fuel cap for my dozer. The one for my backhoe, I can't remember if that's locking or not. Taking this thing apart so I can clean the clutch in this. Hopefully yeah, I wish he would just get a job and, you know, leave me alone. I really think a job would keep him from bothering me. I really do think that, like, wholeheartedly. If he had a job, I wanted to clean the back side of this clutch, but I don't know if I can. Rice in a radiator? What the heck? I've never even heard of that. The thing that worries me is, like, it would only take a few seconds for him to sabotage something of mine. You know what I mean? My wife's never paying attention. She's never outside. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just want to get the hell out of here. I just want to build my shop already and be gone with this place. Sell it. I just bought it for an investment, you know, so I'm not emotionally attached. But I even thought that I was like, maybe I can call the other landlord and like bribe him to end his lease. I was thinking of doing that. Like, hey man, I'll give you $2,000 if you end this guy's lease and, you know, give him the boot or something. But I have the feeling this is the type of guy that would claim, oh, I'm disabled, you can't kick me out. Or, you know, he would do something to stay. And my money would be lost, you know. I don't know. He's not disabled. He's constantly, and here's what gets me the most, right? He complains about me making noise. Dude, this guy is constantly working on people's cars in his driveway. Like, every other day he has another car in the driveway. You know, which that doesn't bother me. I make, you know, noise working on my stuff. But I have never complained about him making noise. Like, I'm almost considering next time he makes noise, go over and complain to him. You know, just to see what he says. Because I've never complained to him about him making noise. So maybe I should just, hey, Evan, what's your advice? I have a neighbor who's being a pain in the butt. Always complaining since the day I moved in. You know, and I feel like he could try and sabotage my equipment. Like, he was telling me the other day, for some reason, he said I left my dozer running for 2 hours. Dude, I never idle my equipment because, for one, I am too cheap to pay for fuel. Yeah, I do that, Keith. I do that. It just doesn't seem to work. Like, I don't know. I'm worried about him. Yeah, cameras. I guess that's the consensus, basically. Everybody's recommending I get cameras. I guess I'm going to have to get cameras. The problem is I don't know, cameras aren't always the best. My buddy Nolan, he's going to help get me set up with cameras. I know, Cindy. That's what I'm afraid of. You know, because, okay, let's say he complains and then... Oh, the drum? That's, every time I get a text message, that's what the drum is. Yeah. I'm worried about him going to the local government and then them taking his side. Like, because we are kind of in a residential area. Like, there's 3 duplexes on this street. But literally, on that side of the fence, there's a drilling company, right? They own 8 trucks, you know, but they're really scaled back. They hardly ever, you know, go anywhere. They probably do 1 or 2 jobs a week. You know, you hear them running their pressure washer or their backhoe every once in a while, but they're not as active as I am, I would say. But he can't complain to them because he never sees them. You know what I mean? But every time I've talked to him about them, he's like, oh, yeah, they're the best in the world. Every time they leave in the morning, they have their stuff all set up the day before, you know, and then I never hear them and this and that. And like, here I am strapping my thing down today so I don't have to do it at 4 in the morning tomorrow. But apparently that doesn't count because it's me, you know. So what if he goes to the local government and they say, Brian, we're really sorry about this, but you're going to have to relocate your equipment. Then what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Then I have to rent somewhere, which is just, I will not rent someplace. Forget that. Ain't happening. I'll talk to one of my buddies and get, you know, get some space on their property and then just drive there or something. Renting will not happen. I'll park my stuff down in Shelton before I start renting. And then he's not going to be a happy neighbor. How do I do that, Cindy? How do I check the zoning map? How do I check that? Because he's got a business, right? Drilling business. And the guy at the very beginning of our street, he has a, it's a wedding business, right? He does weddings every once in a while. But he stopped doing them because probably this guy right over here complained that they were blocking the access road. Yeah, you're probably right, Ben. But I'm just worried, you know, what if he does try and sabotage my stuff? You know. And the other thing is okay, say I got cameras, right? And he sabotages my fuel tank, right? What if I don't find out about it for like a week or something and the loop in the security camera's already gone over it and there's no evidence? You know what I mean? It's just because that's happened to several people, you know what I mean? Not saying that's going to happen to me, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Have you ever had that disgruntled neighbor? You just want to just... I mean, I have all the equipment. You know what I mean? I just keep smiling and waving, I guess. I think I'm going to get that security camera, though. Yes, Evan. Big hole. You think like me, Evan. A big hole. Big holes solve a lot of problems. Yeah. Big holes solve lots of problems. Maybe that's his problem. Who knows? I just feel bad for the guy too because he's always grumpy. Like he never is happy. I bet if I talked to my neighbor back there, he could tell me what his experience is. Because I remember him saying something one time about somebody complaining. Because he owns the property behind me too, and he wanted to build it bigger, you know. And then they complained or something, or said, or the council, the city council was against him because they said, oh, you can't do that because that's residential and or zoned residential over there. You took the muffler off? Keith. Dude, I've been thinking about doing that. Just taking the mufflers off all of my equipment and just pegging the RPMs, just redlining them all from 8. Guaranteed he would call the cops, though. Guaranteed. And I'd have to, the cops would probably tell me to idle them down. And then, you know, until they left, and then they'd be right back up there. Yeah, if it's... Here's the thing, though. Like, can it be zoned residential if they're duplexes? Because duplexes, in a sense, are investments. They're money makers. So isn't that considered a business? Like, I don't know. What's your opinion on that? Because to me, a duplex is basically a business because you're collecting a steady income. It looks like this thing got chewed up. This thing right there. Just a teeny bit. Yeah, they could be grandfathered in because they had their shop a long time before they built these duplexes. Maybe I could get... cruise ship air horn. Maybe I can get what is it called? Maybe I could get mine rezoned as commercial. Just tell him I'm gonna wipe my duplex out and make it at my construction yard. Oh, that would just thrill him. You know what I mean? Sorry about that, guys. Dropped off there for a second. Thank you, honey. Well, getting consent from all the neighbors would be easy, except for him. He'd be the only problem. This thing must go on here a specific way. Great. Have any of you guys ever taken one of these chainsaws apart and put this part back on? Is there a certain way it goes on? Maybe this goes on first. Bearing on. Uh-oh. I'm having trouble putting this back together, guys. Yeah, you're right on that zoning thing. There's a mark on here. Uh-oh, guys. There we go. Now I'm not going to be able to get the bearing back in. I know I shouldn't have took that part about. It is a MS 362. MS 362. not going on all the way. That's what my problem is. Yeah. Oh, he'd be mad I bought a new chainsaw too. What? You have this? I'm gonna go buy one. He would find some way to be mad.
Oh, for the same thing.
I wonder if I have to do this. Okay. Wait a second. Maybe the bearings are upside down. Can these bearings be upside down? Maybe it's tapered. Whoa. Can you hand me that, honey? Down there. There it is. I wonder if these bearings are tapered. Vegetable oil? What do you mean vegetable oil in the saw? What part do you put it in? Like for the bar oil or what? I don't understand. Come on, just go back together. I'm never taking this thing apart like this ever again. Oh, really? This thing is not going in. Like, I don't know what is the problem here. Is there some sort of special procedure? Does anybody know? Does this have to be in a certain position? Like, this is the furthest I've ever had it down, but... The bearings went down all the way. This just doesn't go down all the way. What the flip? Like, there's this little notch in here. There's also this little thin film of like rubber on the inside of this thing, which is kind of weird. Western Star? Nope, never been there. What, the commercial land, the commercial property? Buy it as an LLC? Like, I just don't know why. That's all the further it goes down. It just won't go down any further. Just don't get it. Come on. It's almost like it has to be tapped down. Oh wait, there's the keeper. Okay, I think I've figured it out, guys. Famous last words. I don't know what to say, guys. I kind of just screwed up my $800 chainsaw. I'm going to have to watch 20 million videos on how to put this stupid thing back together. Well, I see where the notch is. Well, actually, that's... Yeah, that's the notch. That's got to be the notch. The problem is this chain brake I think it's partially getting in the way. Yeah. I don't know if you guys would be able to see anything, really. What? It just went back on. Dude, that easy. What the flip? Okay. Okay, let me show you guys. So, if you see right here, there's a little notch. You can hardly see it. There's a little notch right there. Anyways, in that there's a little notch. And it has to go directly on. There's a notch in there. But I had to hold the brake, the chain brake, back as far as I could. Right? What a pain. Never taking that off again. Just remind me, guys, to never take that off again. I love taking things apart. I love taking things apart so I can see how they work. I just love it. I'm born to take things apart. That way, I know how to put them back together. Even though it takes me, you know, a good long time to put them back together. Boom. That's back together. As Justin would say, time! Except for I'm not totally done putting it back together. Whew. Excuse me. I just am addicted to taking things apart. Now, where did that little... There it is. Yeah, so I'm having neighbor issues, guys. Once we get... I just have a feeling one of these days we're going to find out he wasn't paying rent the whole time and they finally evicted him. You know, or something. Who knows? Dude, I love this chainsaw, you guys. This chainsaw rocks, by the way. Yeah, I have the landlord's number. That's why I mentioned I was considering paying him like $2,000 his lease. Say, hey man, I have somebody I can move in there. Just kick him out. No, I don't put any vegetable oil in there. It probably wouldn't hurt it though. These bad boys are going back on. Yep, so tomorrow we're going down the property with the dozer. I may do a live stream. I may not. It's so hard to do a live stream because you're so busy. Like, there's really not a lot of time to stop and say, hey, I'm going to do a live stream. You know what I mean? It's just, there's not a lot of whole lot of time. And then the cell reception is horrible over there too, so you guys would be like, what the heck? I can't even see Brian. And I have to disagree with you on that. The Husky's the best. I think this chainsaw right here is the best of all of them. Like, I'm not a chainsaw connoisseur though. But let me tell you what. This chainsaw rocks. And if I had to buy another chainsaw, this is the one I'd buy. No doubt about it.
No, I just cleaned the table.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry. My wife just cleaned the table, she said. Yeah, gas stations. What do you mean by cheap? What's cheap to you? Let me just put it this way. Steel is like Snap-on of chainsaws. What the? Okay, I think I know what I did. Well, maybe not. No, it has to be longer because the nut goes on there. I think I screwed up, guys. Screwed up. I think I put the wrong screw on the top and the wrong one on the bottom. It was funny. My grandpa was they're the same thread though, so it doesn't matter. Formix? What do you mean formix? I don't know what that is. Like the mix you put in the gas or something, or what? I think my personal opinion of that, I would say steel is in the business of making saws, not gas. Yeah, I did. Put the wrong one on the wrong side. It wouldn't have really mattered that much. Is my wife pregnant? Don't ask her that. Don't ask her that.
That's finding to lose the weight.
Now she's going to be talking about losing weight for the next 2 hours. She's going to take that out on me, Dave. The best advice is never ask a woman if she's pregnant unless she is, you know, has
told you.
40,000? Dude, 40,000 is a lot of money though. I could buy something like that, but I'd have to take out a loan from my mom, and I don't want to do that. Because I want that kind of as like a safety buffer. If anything really ever went wrong, or somebody never paid me, you know, like they owed me a lot of money and they never paid, and I was hurting. And that's kind of what that is. There we go. Let's see. 4-mix engine. So, John, I have 10 acres in Shelton, Washington. It's like 45 minutes from here, 45 to an hour, depending on traffic. 45 minutes to an hour. Oh, it's already on. Duh. Oh, yeah, Dave. Good point. I probably was a stupid one for reading it out loud. I guess I didn't think that through, did I? She has got that from a few people, though. I think her, it could possibly be related to the birth control medicine. Some women say that helps, you know, puts on weight. But I'd rather not be the one speculating that, you know what I mean? Could just be the meds. But she was down to like 130 a while ago. She like put on like 20 pounds like super quick. I think it could be possibly related to birth control meds, because once she started doing the birth control meds, then she kind of put on the weight. Later, Jeff. Thanks for tuning in. Actually, guys, I should probably go too. I gotta finish cleaning this thing up and then. Yeah, there you go, Keith. 700 or 800 an acre. That's cheap. I paid a total of 840, I think, 830 or something like that, with tax included. More than I've ever spent on a chainsaw. Let me put it that way. No, I don't think I'm gonna get a skid steer next. Next thing I'm gonna get, we're probably just gonna keep saving, and then we're gonna build our house. I may not get any more equipment until I get our house built, or our shop built, or something, because I just don't want to deal with a neighbor anymore. But if he moved, then we'd probably get an excavator, right? Like a 50 to 100 size, somewhere in there. 50 series to 100 series or something around those sizes. All right, guys. We got 3 likes. Make sure you double those likes. Share this on your social media. Follow me on Instagram. And like my Facebook page. And I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. And for those of you who have watched this without being on the live stream, just comment in the chat what your specific advice to me would be about a grumpy neighbor. There we go. 6 likes. Awesome. You guys rock. And I'll catch you on the next one, guys. You guys have a good one. Maybe tomorrow. I might do a live stream tomorrow. You guys take care.